Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Dragon Ball Nation. Now today I'm going to be giving you guys another Dragon Ball Super discussion involving Trunks and a new arc that we are going to be getting in Dragon Ball Super. And along with me, I've brought Black and Fist, of course, just like the other day. If you guys saw, I'll link it down below. We talked about what we think of Trunks' reveal, his motivation for coming back, his character design, what we feel about that. That video is linked down below in the description, so check that out. But today we're going to be talking about the new arc and what I feel like has great potential to possibly be the greatest arc in Dragon Ball history. We have future Trunks making his epic return for some big reason. Black Goku, Goku Black, whatever you want to call him. You know, it might be some sort of an evil Goku even. We really don't know. But Black and Fist, I'm going to give my thoughts, but what do you think the reason Trunks is purely coming back for? Do you think there's something bigger than this Goku Black? Do you think that there's some bigger villain out there that Trunks is coming back for? Because we don't have this story, this Goku Black character in the main timeline right now. What do you want to see happen, and what do you think is going to happen? Because there's so many, we talked about this before. This is a fight that's going through space and time involving the Omni King and all the Kais. So this is going to be an epic tale for sure.
From the little that we know about this upcoming story arc, we know that Future Trunks is coming back because he was having trouble with this quote-unquote Black Goku. But it's very important to keep in mind that Goku died in Future Trunks' timeline. So obviously some otherworldly, some extraordinary powers are at play here. So I actually don't think whatever Black Goku is, now a lot of people are jumping the gun saying that Black Goku is an evil Goku, which I'm not saying is out of the question, but whatever Black Goku is, I definitely don't think it's the end of it. I don't think that that's the gonna be like the final confrontation, because like I said before, Goku's already been dead. So let's just say if Black Goku is somehow being controlled, or maybe it was they were resurrected by a greater force, by somebody else, that Black Goku, I feel it sounds like a puppet, mainly because Goku's dead. So someone else had to have done something to Goku, if it really is Goku, for him to even come back in Future Trunks' timeline. So obviously, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that the real villain is the person behind whoever this Black Goku is. Of course, this is an assumption that Black Goku is Goku in some way, shape, or form. There could be a possibility that Black Goku just, doesn't really have anything to do with the Goku we know. So there's also that.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It could be like just number one, could be like an evil clone, so it wouldn't really be like someone morphing the actual, when we say like evil Goku or something like that, it's not like it's going to be Goku being controlled to turn evil, or being like a parallel universe Goku. I mean, hell, it could be that. I would hope it's not. It could just be, like you said, a puppet of some sort, phantom, I guess, that would be something that was attacking. Maybe there's phantoms of other characters, maybe like, in a way, kind of like the Ghost Warriors from the Plan to Eradicate the Saiyans special. It could be something like that. I don't know. But I do agree with you. I do think that there is something bigger out there that is controlling these. Because even if it was just Goku, that would be kind of a lame villain anyways, I feel like. Not everyone agrees with me on that. I know there's a lot of people that want to see just an evil Goku character, but I feel like there's a bigger villain out there. If this is something that the Omni King, and we gotta talk about this, Black and Fist, because if this is something that the Omni King and all the Kais need to get into, we know that Trunks is going back in time to our timeline right now. I think me and you, I'm not sure how you feel, but I feel like we probably are gonna be on the same page here, that there's gonna be more than just going back to the past. There's gonna be going through even multiple timelines, I feel like. What do you think of that? If the Omni King himself is involved, I feel like there's definitely multiple paths.
The involvement of the Omni King is the thing that intrigues me the most, because as it was stated already in Dragon Ball Super, he's the king of all the 12 universes and possesses immense power. So much so that he could destroy all 12 universes within a blink of an eye. that actually poses a serious that actually poses something serious for future villains, because I always thought, well, if the Omni King is that powerful, if we're going to take that line literally, then how is it possible for another villain, for someone to really pose a threat to the Dragon Ball universe? If we already have a character this powerful, we're going to need someone at least of equal, if not greater force in order to be a threat. So I do think that the new villain may not be as powerful as the Omni King, or maybe as powerful as him, but he's going to compromise the Omni King in some way. He has to compromise something in some way or form. In some way or form, the good side, the hero side. This is something that Resurrection F had a problem with. Our heroes, the good guys, were way too powerful in that movie compared to Frieza, which is something that honestly a lot of people disagreed with. And one of the biggest flaws with that movie, I felt, like many other people did, it should have been Frieza who should have been much more overwhelmingly powerful than Goku or Vegeta. And I would even argue combined. But it wasn't like that, and that movie lacked a lot of drama because of that. I really hope that Toriyama is very careful here with this new villain, and he does not make that same mistake he made in Resurrection F, because now the stakes are even bigger. Now we have the Omni King, and if we take that line seriously in Dragon Ball Super, the power is even bigger this time around. So I hope Toriyama makes a new character, a villain that accounts for it.
I think what's interesting to note is that we don't really know if it is the Omni King himself that can destroy all the universes. Me and Mike talked about this in another video, but we talked about the possibility that maybe he's the son of the guy that's the most powerful thing, you know? Kind of like in Yu Yu Hakusho, how there's, Koenma and stuff like that. So it could be something like that, maybe not. Also, remember, the Galactic Patrol has a strict rule against time travel. Maybe, the Omni King's getting involved because of the time travel bit. That could be a possibility as well. We don't know why he's getting involved, but then again, not even just the Omni King Black Fist, the Kais as well. So it's very interesting to see this type of thing happening on such a grand scale. Even if someone doesn't think it's going to be the greatest arc out there, we can both agree that this is the biggest in scale and the most grand for sure. I would say, wouldn't you agree?
Without a doubt. I mean, without a doubt, it's going to be the biggest and grand in scale, because just think about it. The Dragon Ball world is expanding ever bigger every single time we go into with more material. So I do think that this new villain, he has to I think the new villain might have something to do with maybe time travel or something, obviously, because Future Trunks is involved. But I also think that I don't think all the details are I don't think that all the things have been revealed so far. And quite honestly, this is my prediction. I really don't even think Black Goku is going to be the only or the biggest villain in this new arc.
I think he's just like a teaser, honestly, at this point. That's what I'm feeling.
Well, I feel that Black Goku is more of a someone else is controlling him, or he's working with someone else, or he's not really the main guy, the main villain guy. He's kind of like Android 17 and 18 in the Cell arc, or the Ginyu Force in the Frieza arc. That's how I feel Black Goku is.
I feel like what, and I don't know what, please in the comments tell us what you think Black Goku is, or whatever it is. Because there could be, let's just say, for all we know, Black Vegeta, Black Piccolo, Black Gohan, like all these controlled versions of different characters. Not the living beings that are being controlled, but like a phantom or something, something like that. We don't know if that's what it is. We have no idea, but that's a speculation. And that's something I could see possibly working, but if it was like mind control or something, I feel like that would be a little sloppy, and we already saw that with, a bit with Babidi as well. But I think that's what's going to happen. I think the major villain's going to be controlling these guys. Like you, I think there has to be something bigger than this, because that Goku does not seem like that's a good finisher or a big main villain for the arc. That's something that we're going to see and be like, oh, he's super powerful. Look how much stronger he is than all these guys. And then we see this big guy. And we don't know how strong the Goku is. We don't know how strong Trunks has gotten. It's implied by Toriyama that Trunks has gotten a lot stronger. He says something along the lines of, despite Trunks being so strong, he narrowly escapes with his life. So, for all we know, Goku and Vegeta from our universe and timeline could just mop the floor with this Black Goku, for all we know. And we don't know if he's going to appear in our timeline or if that's something that's just happening in Trunks' world. There's so many ways with all the different timelines and all the time travel that this could completely either work perfectly or fall apart. And I don't know which. But Black and Fist, I think there's going to be some major inconsistencies with time travel and how they kind of utilize it in the arc. How do you think that's going to work? Do you think they're going to stick to the roots of the Cell Saga? And how about you give the people out there a little reminder in case they maybe forgot or don't know how time travel worked in the Android and Cell Saga?
In the Cell arc, of course, Future Trunks came back to warn everybody about the androids. But it's important to note, however, that when Future Trunks came back to warn everybody, that did not stop the things that happened in his timeline. So one thing you need to realize is that these timelines, you could almost think of them as parallel dimensions or something along those lines. They're different worlds, essentially, because what happens in one timeline doesn't affect the other one. So in theory, there could be an innumerable amount of timelines in the Dragon Ball world, because the way time travel works is that if you keep going back in time, if you keep going back and further and back in time, you keep either creating new timelines or you're going into another timeline at that point in time. But it's also very important to note that once a time traveler goes back in time, they make a sort of a connection between the two worlds, because that's how Future Trunks was able to go back and forth between his timeline and the main timeline that we know.
I was gonna ask, do you think that they're gonna utilize the same type of time travel in the new arc? Do you think they're gonna do a more traditional type of Back to the Future style?
Well, I would have to imagine. Well, I would have to imagine they would have to use the same type of time travel, because if they use anything differently, then it would just be a complete plot hole, because now the rules are different.
Well, it is Toriyama.
Yeah, but
and it's been a while. This is the man that forgot what Super Saiyan was. He forgot what Super Saiyan 2 or Super Saiyan 3 looked like. This is the same man, Black and Fist.
I understand that, but I do believe, I do believe Toriyama reread the manga recently to do all this new material, so even if he forgot, it should be in his memory now. So I am hoping that he doesn't. I'm hoping that he goes by the rules he already established.
We can definitely hope for it, but I don't know how crazy the time travel is going to be. But that's going to be like some. Now, I'm not saying Xenoverse characters are going to be in this at all, and you know, me and Blackfist can both tell you guys that we don't think that Toa, Mira, or Demigra are going to be in this arc at all, right, Black and Fist? But I mean, I am gonna get some Dragon Ball Xenoverse type vibes if we're doing a bunch of time travel, because that game was so focused on it.
Well,
but it also did it a bit differently. It did it more of the traditional style, because it was kind of done at the base of the whole time-space continuum, I guess. You know, the Toki City. So I mean, you probably agree. There's not gonna be video game characters, most likely. We don't expect to see them.
I don't think so, but I understand why people are bringing up Mira and Toa. They kind of fit the profile of what Toriyama's recent statements have been saying. I mean, Mira and Toa they were like time manipulators. They went back in time and made people evil. I mean, Black Goku, and not only that, Toriyama also in his previous comments said that he wanted a villain with a white aesthetic. Now, arguably or not, they both had white hair, but is that really the white aesthetic? Maybe that's pushing it, but I understand why they're saying it. I mean, the profile does seem to fit a little bit, although I am very skeptical of Toriyama using Mira and Toa since they're video game characters, and that is very unprecedented for Toriyama since he even ignores anime
it's not something he usually
material.
Does. But, I mean, they're cool characters, I think, for sure. They fit in with the story pretty well. They don't have a lot of problems. I mean, I always loved that Toa was Deborah's sister. Such a cool connection. And, you know, if they did show up, I'm not going to say I'm going to complain at all. I don't think that they would not fit in. We're just saying that it's unlikely. And if you introduce them, Black and Fist, you have to consider maybe the Supreme Kai of Time, who could have actually fit in with the story pretty well as well. Time Patroller Trunks. Some people have made a connection between this Trunks and Time Patroller Trunks from Xenoverse and Dragon Ball Online and Heroes, I believe. Something about, his undershirt looking the same, which is kind of a crazy speculation. But, there's so many different connections you have to do if you put those two characters in. But this arc, there's so much giant potential, and we can't even fathom all the stuff that can come up. But Black Fist, for all we know, guess what? It could be the most simple arc in history, and there's going to be like one time jump. Trunks goes back to the past, he goes back to his time, and that's it. It could be something similar like that. I doubt it, but we don't know what we got for this arc. Is there anything else you want to add to this conversation before we leave it to the fans?
No, I think that I gave it all. I think I gave all my thoughts already.
Yeah, we definitely had a lot to say. Again, guys, if you didn't check it out, we talked about Trunks' role in the arc, what we think of his design, all sorts of stuff linked down below in the description. Go check that out. Me and Black Fist were on that video as well. And do not forget to check out Black and Fist's channel in the description. Black Fist, what videos have you made recently that are going to stick out to the viewers that they're going to want to see?
Well, I made a similar talk about this on my channel with Quaman. We talk a little bit about the same things, and we also bring up our own things that probably weren't that were not mentioned in this discussion. So if you want a continuation of maybe what I or Quaman thinks, you can check out my channel.
Right, so go do that, guys. Linked down below. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Share your thoughts on what you want to see in the arc. What do you think Black Goku is? What do you think Trunks is doing in the past? All sorts of things. And do you think this is going to be the greatest arc, and if not the grandest arc that we've seen in Dragon Ball as a whole? Hopefully you guys stick around and comment those thoughts down below. But other than that, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll catch you later.